Marawi was a city that once bustled with life and culture as the vibrant capital of the province of Lanao del Sur. It all changed when in May 23, 2017, armed men, later identified to be members of the Maute ISIS Islamic militant group, boldly tried to take over and spread hostility throughout the city. What was once a lively business hub has become a witness to a 5-month struggle between the government troops and the renegades. Today, the city is a picture of destruction. It has been a year since the war broke out and shocked the world. Let us revisit Marawi and see how the affected residents are coping, and the progress of the national government efforts to restore the once proud city. Dynamic Living the Total You brings you a special episode.
Today, I am very much honored to have with me in Dynamic Living the Total You, the person in charge of the rehabilitation project of Task Force Bangon Marawi. He is also the Field Office Manager and the Housing Assistant Secretary, Task Force Bangon Marawi. We have General Felix Castro Jr. Magandang araw po sa inyo, sir.
Magandang araw din po, Doc.
Okay, so sinabi ko po kanina ay isang taon na malapit na po, no? At magkakaroon tayo ng anniversary para po sa nangyari dito sa Marawi City. Ano-ano po ang mga nakalaan na mga programa para sa araw na yon?
Kami po ay nag-iisip na mag-hold ng Marawi Week of Peace. This will be a series of activities at ang final activities namin ay May 23. Ito po ay unang-una ipakita na yung Marawi ay bumabangon na. Pangalawa, to remember the heroism of those who offered their lives at saka yung mga tumulong para sa Marawi. At pangatlo po ay para i-develop yung pagmamahal, love for peace ng mga tao na eventually mawawalan na ng opportunity yung mga nagre-recruit na makakonvince dun sa mga kababayan natin, hindi lang sa Marawi, maybe for the Lanao del Sur.
Opo, maganda pong adhikain yan, no? From a military general's point of view po, yung almost more than 5 months na gera dito po sa Marawi po, how did it impact, una sa lahat, unahin natin, yung mga sundalo po natin?
Unang-una po, yung gera sa Marawi is ang tinatawag natin yan, urban warfare. Unlike po yung nakasanayan nila, na nakikipaggera sa bundok, iba ang terrain doon, walang mga concrete masyado, so dito, urban terrain siya. So it's a totally different warfare. And yung ating kasundaluhan, inamin naman ng mga liderato na hindi talaga ganun kabihasa. And that is why it took a while to finish the job. Plus, mahirap po talaga pag concrete ang mga pinagalalagyan ng kalaban. It's a fighting building by building, room for room po yun.
Pero ang ikinaganda nito, ASEC, it now makes the military more, adept, not just adept, but more of, they learn something from it so that it can be incorporated in the training programs that they have, di po ba?
Yes, and there is now a shift in the training to also incorporate the lessons learned here. And not only for the Philippine military, I heard that the other armed forces of foreign countries are also looking into what happened into Marawi for purpose of learning also.
Opo, and for improvement of services.
Yes.
So, dun po tayo, no? Sa pangalawa po, sa mga residente naman po ng Marawi, yung impact po kaya sa kanila for those 5 months or more na warfare?
Siyempre po, malaki yung impact doon sa mga residents ng Marawi. More so doon sa mga nakatira doon sa 24 barangays na tinatawag nating most affected area. Kasi po doon talaga nawala yung mga gamit nila. Marami diyan, medyo nakulong pa doon for several days. At since wala na silang mababalikan na bahay, sila ay nakatira sa evacuation centers. Yung iba umuupa sa Iligan, sa Cagayan de Oro. Yung iba nakikitira sa mga relatives nila. And mas malaki impact sa kanila because they will be staying a little longer sa labas kasi hindi pa nila mapapaayos yung kanilang mga bahay.
So these people have become internally displaced. So mas malaki yung challenges. Asek, how did the task force Bangon Marawi, land into your hands? Bakit kayo yung napili at people must be wondering, bakit si Asek Castro ang nandyan ngayon?
Actually, siguro by fate or circumstance, kinuha ko ni Secretary de Rosario for HADC at ako supposed to be yung counterpart ni Secretary Yusek Yano because initially ang Task Force Bangon Marawi was under DND at ang chairman ng task force was Secretary Lorenzana. So sabi ni Secretary de Rosario, since yung HADC will be in charge of the housing and lalo na yung temporary housing, sabi niya sa akin, tumulong ako dito. We were supposed to be partners with Yusek Yano. But the President issued Admin Order number 9 around October. Nilipat ngayon sa HADC yung Task Force Bangon Marawi. So ako yung nandito, sa akin ibinigay yung trabaho. At
yung responsibility, which is very huge, So,
yes.
what are the government concrete plans in terms of rehabilitating Marawi po?
Actually, there's the Bangon Marawi, Bagong Marawi Comprehensive Rehab and Reconstruction Plan. Ito yung pinaka-overall plan for the whole of Marawi. Meron ding specific na development plan for the 24 barangays, yung most affected area. So itong dalawa na ito ay sabay-sabay na magaganap. But yung comprehensive rehab plan sa ngayon for approval pa ni Presidente. Yung development plan for the most affected area ay fine-tune pa. We had a series of consultations. The last one was yesterday. So ayusin pa yon para makaselect ng winner na magde-develop.
So in other words po, Asek, you are in the right track already. Pero ano po ang time frame or timeline po natin for us to be able to implement all of these plans that you have been undertaking now?
As per our timeline, matatapos siya 2021, fourth quarter of 2021. So
pero
kami
magsisimula po, opo. Pero ang pagsisimula po niyan ay kailan po?
Ang sa 24 barangay, sa most affected area, hopefully by first week of June.
Nitong taon na to.
Yes.
Wow, that's good news, no? For our mga kababayans there. In other words, there's movement already towards the rehabilitation. Who are your partners or who are our partners in the implementation of these programs, Asek?
Of course, yung ating mga government agencies na nandyan simula pa nung day one, tuloy-tuloy sila, DSWD, DOH, DPWH, TTI, lahat yung mga yan will be our continuing partners dito sa rehabilitation. And hanggang matatapos yan, maybe kahit na matapos na, may mga programs pa rin na maiiwan para sa Marawi.
So aside from our government agencies, do we have help also like international or other Asian countries na who have already signified their intent to be of help here in the rehabilitation process po?
May mga nag-pledge na, hindi ko lang mababanggit yung iba. May mga pledges na, and yung mga pledges naman na ito ay nasa taas sa national hinahandle ito. But of course, there are some countries na nag-donate. Japan, nag-donate ng mga sasakyan at saka heavy equipment. Nag-donate din ng pera para sa mga shelters. China donated some equipment and amount of money. The USA, Russia, Taiwan, marami nang nag-donate.
So marami din po talagang tumulong, no, who came in to help us. How huge is the damage po ba na nangyari dito sa war na ito? If you are to look at it in terms of economics, we'll talk about economics first and then we go into the socio-cultural aspect also.
Ang damage to properties estimated at around 11.5 billion.
Wow.
Ang losses to the economy around 6.5 billion. And this will involve 250 hectares, 24 barangays, around mga 11,123 families dun sa most affected area. Meron din yung nasa labas, although slightly damaged, naapektuhan din.
That is for the economics. But what about socio-cultural po? How huge do you think is the damage? And what is its impact, not just for the people living in Marawi, but also for us Filipinos?
Siyempre, nagulat sila na nagkaroon ng ganong gera at nakapasok sa Marawi. Nagtatanong-tanong sila how this happened. Ano ba yung kakulangan? Kulang ba yung nagawa nila? Meron ba silang pagkukulang? May mga nagtatanong, baka may mga, ano ba yung mga values na dapat nating baguhin? Ano ba yung values na dapat nating lalong paigtingin? Ano? So, nagkakaroon ng mga pag-iisip. Kung paano nangyari yun at paano ma-prevent. So, yun ang nakita ko na malaking impact na pagsusuri nila.
So in terms of the start of the rehabilitation process po, nasa planning na po kasi tayo would you say po na right now, even from the very start, no, October, November, December, nagsa-start na po kayo noon Yeah. So in terms of percentage, completion or compliance po with the programs that you have in place, would you say you are in 10%, 20%, or 30% of it?
Ang mga nauna kasing ginawa, ang tinatawag naming early recovery interventions. It's not really part of the rehabilitation project program. Because yung programa, pinaplano pa, tinatapos pa for approval ngayon. So, karamihan ng nagawa natin, mga early recovery interventions, yung mga humanitarian aid, mga pagkain, pagbabalik sa kanilang mga bahay.
So kumbaga yung basic na needs nila, yun yung in-address po.
Yun muna.
Okay. Now sir, in terms of peace and order naman, let's talk about peace and order in Marawi and in the surrounding areas before the war, and then during the war, and now. So how would we compare that, sir, if we are able to compare that?
Before the war, alam naman ng mga taga-Marawi na medyo magulo doon, may mga loose firearms, medyo delikadong naglalakad sa gabi. But sa ngayon, yung may kaibigan nga ako, sabi niya, ngayon niya lang naramdaman yung tunay na freedom because yung mga kalaban niya, mga Rido, medyo safe na siya from Rido. Actually, within Marawi, halos complete na nawala yun, kasi nga walang baril, stricto yung military, hindi ka makapagdala. Of course, siguro nawala na within Marawi kasi nagkagera nga. Doon sa mga ibang lugar, hindi ganun ka-peaceful. Alam naman natin.
Yung sa surrounding po niya.
Surroundings. May mga reports of recruitment pa rin, although on a small scale. May mga some crimes na nakumit. But within Marawi, medyo general peaceful talaga.
Pero ang target po ninyo po, lalo na sa military, is to keep not just Marawi, but the surrounding areas as peaceful and as orderly as it can be.
Yes, tama po yun. Sinasabi ko nga na hindi lang Marawi. Should be the whole of Lanao del Sur. Kasi kung Marawi lang talagang natin, at yung mga ibang areas, mayroon pang pangangailangan, marami pang mga needs na hindi na-address, then yung root cause, nandiyan pa rin.
Nandiyan pa rin. Yun dapat ang ating, i-address, yung pinaka-basic reason bakit naging ganun. So how are the residents now of Marawi in terms of coping? Marami sa kanila nakabalik naman na po, yung iba sa kanila nasa evac centers pa rin. Pero how are they in general coping with it now?
For the other barangays, yung nakabalik na, they're coping up well. If you will be to Marawi, you will see yung mga tindahan, tumayo na, yung mga tao naglalakad doon, medyo nagro-normalize na yung buhay. Unfortunately, para doon sa 24 barangays, yung mga naiwan, they still have to cope up with the daily problems of the livelihood, pagkain, siyempre, mahirap pa buhay sa evacuation centers.
Pero we are assuring them naman po na very soon also, just be patient, maililipat din naman po talaga.
Tuloy-tuloy naman yung ating unang-una, yung pagtayo ng temporary shelters, sabay-sabay yung pagtatayo natin. So yung mga nasa evacuation centers, ililipat natin doon para doon na sila maghihintay ng opportunity na magpatayo naman ng bahay nila uli.
Okay. Now, what about relief and immediate needs? Is it still going on today?
Yes, it's still ongoing. And in fact, during our meeting last Wednesday, Secretary De Rosario advised the DSWD to continue it for the next several months pa because the livelihood still on its early stages and hindi pa naman magamit yung kita doon. So he advised the DSWD to find a way that to continue for the next several months, maybe 6 months.
So ibig pong sabihin nito, ASEC, pati ang livelihood program po ba, kailangan din nating i-address, no?
Yes.
Hindi lang yung pagbalik nila sa kanilang mga tirahan, kundi kailangan may kabuhayan din sila.
Kasi in fact, 45% of Maranaos are traders. Di ba? Anywhere makikita mo, may nagtitinda dyan. And yun ang malaking nawala sa kanila. Kasi business center yung Marawi. And yung the 24 barangays, inside that is the main business district. So, yun ang matinding na apektuhan. And what we are looking at is help, assistance, so that they could again rebuild their businesses.
What are the hindrances or difficulties na nakita niyo po na nakakaapekto dito sa rehabilitation process na ginagawa po ninyo?
For one is dissemination. No? There are information that are not correct. There's a lack of information up to the down to the IDP. Ano? Yun ang ina-address namin ngayon. And that is why we conducted a series of consultations. Itong April lang, 9 to 25 series last yung kahapon to inform them of what will happen, at what are the plans, at yung mga issues nila, concerns nila were raised at tinanggap namin. So, nagkaroon ng massive consultations this April.
So, maganda po yan kasi ibig sabihin po, maririnig ninyo yung kanilang mga hinanaing o kaya naman kung ano yung mga plans nila at alam din nila kung anong plano ng government sa kanila. Kasi somewhere along the line, sinabi po ninyo yung information na yan, maraming misinformations na mangyayari unless you go down to their level upang malaman nila at maiparating sa kanila yung programa ng government.
Yes.
So, do we have enough financial resources po para dito sa ating rehabilitation programs?
The national government assured that the funds will be available. They will be sourcing out funds. Hindi ko lang alam kung ano yung pagkukunan, but there was an assurance from the national government that there will be funds.
Okay. Now, do you feel po na heto ngayong ginagawa ninyo dito sa opisina ninyo that is handling this task force Bangon Marawi, do you feel na meron kayong enough support also na kailangan ninyo mula sa loob at sa labas ng gobyerno?
Sakto naman, but we anticipate that pagpasok na nung actual rehabilitation, maybe we had to increase some staffs, maybe additional funding, but overall, we are well supported.
For those who wants to extend help naman po, how can they? You know, like for example, I know that our viewers, kasi po international po ang viewers po natin for those who would want to extend their help, no, sa Task Force Bangon Marawi, how can they, you know, paano nila maiparating sa inyo na gusto nilang tumulong, whether, you know, in physical presence, tutulong ba silang, you know, to build and rebuild, or maybe financially po?
Yes, ang sistema namin ngayon, all assistance, all projects will pass through Task Force Bangon Marawi in order to avoid duplication, avoid na dito lang natutulungan, may areas na hindi natutulungan. So yun, dumadaan sa amin. And if they want to contact us, they could email us at tfbangonmarawifo@gmail.com. So kung may mga gusto silang tanungin or proposals, pwede doon.
Or mga comments and suggestions po,
Yes,
no?
yes.
So 1 year after, heto na tayo ngayon are there negative effects po with what happened a year ago?
Yes, there were negative comments. Of course, hindi mawawala yun. There were issues that were raised. But what is important, as we are conversing with them, we are answering their queries, dealing the issues, recommendations. If the recommendations are fair and useful, then we accept that.
What are the learnings po, kayo on a personal level? You've been here for a long time already, during the war, after the war, and now with the start of the rehabilitation. On a personal level, Asek, what have you learned from this experience?
Yes, actually I started October. No? I was not here during the early months. On a personal note siguro, napakalaki ng trabaho. No? Nakikita namin that we could not do it. That is why we are soliciting the help of everyone, even the IDPs. We want to solicit their help that we should build Marawi together. Hindi kami magpapatayo ng Marawi. We should be building it together. Ano? Kasi yun ang kailangan. We need all the help and support that we can.
In other words, hindi po pwedeng iisang tao lang, si Asek Castro lang magpapatakbo nito, kundi lahat tayo tulong-tulong po nito. So ano po ang mensahe po ninyo sa ating mga tagapagpanood, especially na magsa-celebrate tayo sa anniversary ng Marawi Siege?
Ang masasabi ko lang, tayo ay matuto, we take our lessons from what happened, nakita natin yung nangyari, but ang siguro mas malaking makikita natin yan, yung ating desire to rise up and rebuild the lives again. Dun sa mga gustong tutulong, lagi pong handa ang Task Force Bangon Marawi na i-accommodate yung inyong effort. Lagi namin sinasabi na hindi namin kaya ang Task Force, hindi kaya na i-rebuild, ayusin ng Marawi. We need the IDPs, we need the NGOs, the government, the private sector, the civilians na tumulong sa amin.
Okay. Heto po, mga kaibigan, mga kapatiran po, tandaan po natin, any form of conflict will always impact not just the people's lives who are in the direct area of the conflict, but all of us who are within this country of ours. Peace is attainable if each one of us will help also. And hope actually is for everyone, not just for Marawi, but for the Filipino people.
Natin na binibigay sa DSWD sa mga IDPs natin na tinatawag sa Maranao na kambalingan, nagpauli na dere. We're giving actually rice, na agad na siya, na ay rice, munggo, include, depende, maumang punto ilang demand kay with ano sa culture din sa Maranao ni turmeric, dried fish, coffee, oil, mga daily needs gid nila. Mao ni ang kuan nato sa food pack nato. Focus gud siya sa ground zero kay yun kasi ang most affected area among Marawi, our 24 barangay. So ang amo, ang master list na isubmit sa amo ang NHA from LGU. Yung master list na yun galing LGU. So maupod to i-forward nila sa amo sa DSWD and then mauto ang among i-accommodate for the food assistance and financial assistance. As of 2 months na ma'am, naka 21 box na may per family. Aside dito ang gihatag na food, financial assistance na ay kitchen kit na ilang gitawag, ang hygiene kit, sleeping kit, yes, gi-provide na sila bago sila ni pauli dire para at least ma-comfortable pod ang atong mga IDPs.
Marawi was a city that once bustled with life and culture as the vibrant capital of the province of Lanao del Sur. It all changed when in May 23, 2017, armed men, later identified to be members of the Maute ISIS Islamic militant group, boldly tried to take over and spread hostility throughout the city. What was once a lively business hub has become a witness to a 5-month struggle between the government troops and the renegades. Today, the city is a picture of destruction. It has been a year since the war broke out and shocked the world. Let us revisit Marawi and see how the affected residents are coping, and the progress of the national government efforts to restore the once proud city. Dynamic Living the Total You brings you a special episode.
In the office of the officer in charge, Chief of Hospital Dr. Luz Saber, right here in Amay Pakpak Medical Center. Remember, dear viewers, that 1 year ago, Amay Pakpak Medical Center was part of what happened in the Marawi siege. And it was during the time that we were witnesses to the bravery and courage of our colleagues in trying to serve the people here and around the area. And so today, we'd like to ask Dr. Luz what happened after that Marawi siege. And so, Doktora, there were changes, of course, after the Marawi siege. Ano-ano po yung mga pagbabago na nangyari sa Amay Pakpak?
On the downside, the Marawi siege has the effect of fast turnover of the employees of the health workers. Many had resigned because of fear of the trauma our health workers had experienced. On the positive note, after the Marawi siege, the APMC has not been only known locally, but also in the international news. Because of this, outpouring of blessings happened. Many had donated to the hospital goods that was of great help during the siege. Also, we will be expecting donation from Midshare, a philanthropist group based from the US. They will be donating medical supplies and equipment.
Okay, napakaganda din naman po, ano? Kumbaga, it became a blessing and a curse at the same time. Pero po, ano po yung mga lessons na natutunan natin during the siege, as you know, in the hospital setting?
The Marawi siege made us able to learn lessons the hard way. Yes, security protocols needs to be updated. We also equipped our health workers with the trainings like BLS so that many will be able to respond in basic life support. We had conducted our trainings just recently, actually a few days ago. Also during the Marawi siege, we noticed that there was delay in military response. So maybe we need to strengthen our connection with the military. But lately, there were a group from the Police Academy, PNP. They came over to visit us, and they will be holding meetings with our staff. They want to teach us on how to detect the bomb, because there is also a bomb threat. So that the employees, not only them from the military, will know how to detect the bomb.
So maganda yun, Doktora.
Yes.
Ibig sabihin noon, each member of the hospital team now will be equipped somehow with the knowledge kung paano at ano ang dapat nilang gawin should these things happen again. Kasi nung araw po, when it happened, May 23 of last year, hindi po natin alam ito, di po ba?
Yes.
Kulang na kulang tayo sa pagkakaintindi ng mga bagay-bagay na yan. So what was the most unforgettable experience that you had in your service during the siege?
Actually, at the onset of Marawi siege, I was not actually here in APMC. I was then attending a training in the Civil Service Commission at Cagayan de Oro City. However, even though I did not actually experience the turmoil, it was hard of me because my family was here in Marawi and my grandchildren were trapped at MSU. With this, I was helpless and my heart was turned at being able to be with them during those hard times. If you ask about gunpoint experiences, I have plenty of those. Even worse than the Marawi siege. Actually, I started serving the hospital during the martial law year in the year 1983. And militant and guerrillas clashes were plenty at that. So the recent Marawi siege did affect my life's outlook. However, we need to be prepared at all times.
During the siege, that was during the siege. But after
Yes.
the siege, Doktora, what was the most unforgettable experience that you had? So, bumalik na kayo dito So, you started again serving the people here.
Yes. Yes, of course. My pakpak is my home. And as the famous saying says, home is where the heart is. I feel secure serving APMC. Actually, at this point in time, you cannot tell where the safest place on earth. If you can see the news in TV, there were criminalities are all around. All we need to do is to be ready and be prepared at all times.
So, you feel safer now here in Marawi?
Yes.
And what will it take, Doktora, for you to feel na your security or sense of security and belongingness, will be, kumbaga, mawala siya, maging off-balance siya?
I am in the government service for over 35 years now, and the joy in serving the patients, especially those less fortunate, is outstanding, and no monetary value can equal the joy that it brings.
What keeps you serving the community, Doktora, with an openness? Kumbaga, alam naman po natin na you really did not grow up here in Marawi. You married a Maranao. That's why you were a Christian before, no? And then you married a Maranao, and you came here to serve and to live and to spend the rest of your years. So what keeps you, motivating you to be able to continue on serving the people here in Marawi?
Because of the proximity of Amay Pakpak, nandito kasi kami sa parang kung sasabihin mo at the end of the world. So there are less doctors at the time when I came. Siguro it's because of our dedication to work. We were able to help them, and we were able to teach these people about health education, and at the same time serving them with the quality services at our own effort. And at that time, walang doctors noon We were only 3 at that time, and because they were afraid, because that was still martial law at that time, and the hospital at that time is not well
What it is
developed.
now.
Yes. Noon, it's true, yung saying noon na sinasabi nila na mabaho ang hospital, there were no medicines. Lahat yun totoo yun, because I was here at the time during the changes of leadership and also about the transformation of the hospital from 1983 up to this time. So there is a 360 degrees turnover, and the patients were also able to avail of the services that noon walang-wala ang hospital.
Okay. Now, Doktora, what if, God forbids, what if another siege will happen? How would you feel about that? I feel very sad with that, because if another siege will happen, so we do not know how extensive it will be. Okay, just like ngayon, we never thought it will happen to Marawi, because before, may mga threat lang, but it usually happened in Cotabato, in some other areas in Basilan, but never in Marawi, and that is the first time that we experienced it. But you believe, Doktora, na should again it happens, we are better prepared this time?
Yes, very much better.
And so 1 year from the time that it happened, Doktora, what needs more to be done here in Amay Pakpak Medical Center?
Okay. We are very glad that APMC was spared from serious devastation. Our buildings were intact, and the lives of the APMC personnel were spared. Upgrading efforts are still in progress, as we are identified as one of the few hospitals to establish the Heart, Lung, and Kidney Center in Mindanao. 1 year on, APMC will be implementing the 400 beds, as this is already approved in the Senate, our 2 buildings which is undergoing construction, the 7-story OB-GYN and pediatric ward building, and the 4-story specialty center building will hopefully be completed.
So napakaganda at napakaganda again for us, no, to be hearing na despite what happened, ang May Pakpak Medical Center, just like Marawi, is going to really rise above, no, the tragedy that happened to it. So Doctora, on a parting shot, before I ask you to give your message of hope to our viewers, on a personal level, Doctora, it seems that before the siege and immediately after the siege, it was Dr. Amer Saber who was the chief of hospital, the captain of the ship.
Yes.
And now you are actually in this place, you know, with this mission and very noble undertakings na you are having under your shoulders now. You are carrying a very heavy burden on your shoulders. So what are your personal plans for this?
Well, my personal plan is to continue. To continue what have been started by the previous chief, Dr. Amer Saber, and still to serve the people without any boundaries. We were catering down to the level of the poorest. We don't select patients who will be coming. In fact, those patients will be given more priorities than those who can afford. Because they are the one, that is the purpose of the government hospitals in the Department of Health, that is to serve to the lowly patients.
Ano po ang panawagan ninyo sa ating mga kaibigan, either sa government or sa private sector, para matulungan pa nila upang maging maganda pa at mapaigting ang serbisyo ng May Pakpak Medical Center?
Sana ito lang, I want this to be heard by the persons concerned, especially in the government sector, the Department of Health, and to those entities who will be willing to donate us. Na sana they will focus more on the on the aspect of the hospital wherein we lack more of the facilities. The personnel component, kulang kami dyan. So we hope that with the completion of the personal component, so quality health services will be afforded to these patients.
Actually, Doctora, no, before I invite you to directly give your message of hope to our viewers, we'd like to congratulate you from the bottom of our hearts, from Dynamic Living, the Total You, our Family of Hope team, no? Kasi alam po namin na you have encouraged non-Maranaos specialists to come here,
yes,
and to be of service to the people of Marawi City. So, Doktora, ano po ang inyong mensahe sa ating mga tagapagpanood?
Before I came over, as what I have said, we are only 3. It's because the people who are not from here, they're afraid to come over. It's because of the peace and order situation in Marawi. But now, even if you have experienced that siege, I would like to inform everybody that it is still safe to come. It is still safe to come and work in May Pakpak Medical Center, which is situated in Marawi. With that, you will be of great help to the people here in Marawi City and to help them in giving the quality health services. And also, you can contribute more in helping the people here than in helping in the urban areas.
Yes, so we'd like to take you around now and let us continue on with our revisiting Marawi through May Pakpak Medical Center as we talk to the next person here, another medical doctor in May Pakpak Medical Center.
The original plan is to accommodate 1,204, pero hindi nagkasya sa available na lots. So ngayon is nasa 1,044. Pero ang nagawa namin is nasa 801 na. At ongoing tayo sa 192 housing ba. Challenges? Ay, marami. Una is yung dapat matapos namin kaagad yung project ng within 3 months. Nagkaroon tayo ng mga problema sa yung materialis availability ng mga materialis natin kasi manggagaling. Ito sa Area 4 kasi from Korea at yung mga Area 2 at saka yung ibang areas natin na project ay galing pa sa Luzon yung mga materialis natin na available. At saka yung mga workers natin, kumuha na kami rito, yung mga skilled workers dito sa Gulsungan, sila na ang kinuha namin para mayroon silang trabaho.
Marawi was a city that once bustled with life and culture as the vibrant capital of the province of Llano del Sur. It all changed when in May 23, 2017, armed men, later identified to be members of the Maute ISIS Islamic militant group, boldly tried to take over and spread hostility throughout the city. What was once a lively business hub has become a witness to a 5-month struggle between the government troops and the renegades. Today, the city is a picture of destruction. It has been a year since the war broke out and shocked the world. Let us revisit Marawi and see how the affected residents are coping, and the progress of the national government efforts to restore the once proud city. Dynamic Living the Total You brings you a special episode.
We are still here in the Maypakpak Medical Center, right at the very heart of Marawi City, where that eventful day happened on May 23, 2017. And so I am here together with me, to be talking about what happened during that day, his feelings and his thoughts and his aspirations. We have one of our medical specialists in the hospital, Dr. Mu Kasim, who is an ENT specialist. Dr. Mu, magandang araw sa iyo.
Magandang araw po, Dr.
Okay. What happened during the time, the Marawi siege in May 23? Were you here in the hospital?
During the siege, that time, I was out in the hospital. I was not in the hospital, but I was about to go to the hospital. I was on my way because I had scheduled surgery at OPD, 2 minor surgeries. And then on my way, my wife called up and then she was telling me that, please don't come because there were armed men inside the hospital. She was telling me that ISIS. So I did not believe at first. I go, how come? How come? So I was not, I did not believe her. So I was on my way. I was about to enter the gate when I saw these 2 armed men. So di ako pumasok. So I returned.
Were you afraid?
Of course. But I was so shocked that time because I did not believe. The feeling of fear. The fear sunk. Set in when. During the night, because I did not sleep at home.
What were your thoughts? What were the thoughts that entered your mind when you saw the armed men right there at the gates of the hospital?
Well,
naniwala ka ba? Para bang
yeah,
ang feeling mo
naniwala talaga ako. Pero, at the back of my mind, why these people are here? So I was thinking that maybe they had a patient to attend to. So they want their, maybe they have wounded patients that they want to be attended here. So yun lang iniisip ko. I did not think of it like, APMC under siege or like that.
So kumbaga hindi mo naisip na Marawi was already under siege.
Yeah.
Parang it was an isolated
So
incident.
pumasok lang yon under siege during the night. Narinig ko lahat with the news. So yun. So sabi ko, it's really happening.
Okay. So during the siege and immediately after the siege, did you continue to come here to the hospital despite, the war that was raging outside?
Yes, actually, our service to the people and APMC did not stop. We were here during the siege. Because we all know that in every war there are victims there. So you need to, especially patients, the survivors. So you need to attend to them. So you cannot just leave the hospital. It is our commitment. It is our profession.
Yeah,
to
pero
serve the people.
on one hand also, were you not afraid for yourself? Like for example, did your family not tell you, okay mo, you stop going there muna, kailangan i-save muna yung sarili mo?
Everyone was telling me, especially my wife, my mother, they were telling me, please don't go there because you're risking your life. But I told them, please, kasi sabi ko sa kanila, if things happen, if that sabi ko lang talaga sa kanila, kung talagang if it's your time, then it will really happen, no matter where you are. So sabi ko, I need to go there. The people need us. So I joined the team.
And what motivates you to keep on serving the people here in Nakuru? Because we know for a fact that being a specialist, you can have a very lucrative practice somewhere else, diba? Where you feel na you'll be safer, the family, the children will be safer. But what makes you stay here in a Pakpak Medical Center?
Aside from the fact that we are actually we are only two ENT here in Marawi. I feel the need here in Lanao del Sur. So the need of ENT specialists. So I prefer to stay here to serve the people.
Yeah, so Dr. Mo, heto ngayon do you think that the people have recovered from the trauma that they had to go through during those months of the siege?
For some, yes, but for some, especially those who are really affected, badly affected, those who are living at the ground zero, I think they are not yet they're on the process, but they have not yet overcome the the feeling of devastation, something like that. Because ngayon lang sila nandun, nakapunta doon, so they've seen how how ruined their buildings, their houses. So for some yes, for some not, but
Actually,
still on the process.
Yeah, actually, Dr. Mo, I was there a few days back,
Yeah.
and I saw the devastation, and I could understand because me, not on a very personal level, I don't stay there, I don't have a home there, but when I saw the devastation, it made me want to cry also. So how much more for our colleagues, for the people of Marawi who are affected by that? So what are your thoughts on the ongoing rehabilitation process?
So I believe that the rehabilitation program of the government is really on the process. So para sa akin lang naman, okay lang naman yun. Kailangan lang medyo mabilis because of these people who are complaining, sa kanila, they feel like medyo mabagal or what. But for me, it is the right time. This is the right time. Actually, the rehabilitation itself will start this coming June. So let's wait for that.
So yeah, because we did talk to the chairman or the person heading the task force, Bangon Marawi, and yes, that is also true that they already have the roadmap for the rehabilitation process. Ikaw naman, you're from this place. You have families and relatives who have been affected by the events that happened last year. How do you console them and make them understand that the rehabilitation process may take some time?
Of course, because actually they've seen how severe the devastation is in the ground zero. So kahit sa kanila, na-realize nila that this rehabilitation will take years. Minimum is, I think, is 5 years. So gradually they realize that that's really the process that they have to go through. So,
do you think that another siege will occur here in Marawi?
With what happened, I think every Maranao or people here in Lanao del Sur I think everyone has learned a lesson. So I think everyone will participate or will take their part in preventing the occurrence or another siege, something like that.
Yes, because it
so
has
I think
caused...
we are united now.
Unlike before, mas watak-watak nung araw.
Watak-watak pa. Kasi before there were text messages and there were incidences that happened particularly in places in Butig, in Piagapo. So the problem there, I think, was there was no unity among them.
Okay. What are your hopes and aspirations after the fact? In other words, tapos naman na yun. Andito na tayo, new chapter, new beginnings tayo. What are your hopes and aspirations? Una sa lahat, on a personal level. Number 2, as a medical doctor. Number 3, as a member of the community of Marawi.
Well, for me, as a person, I think we need to take part in every, just like in this situation, we need to do our part as a person living in this Lanao del Sur. So we need to participate and we need to be involved in, you know, in any government activity. You need to be part. And then as a medical doctor, I think as a medical doctor, we need to be, we need to always remember our job here. That is to serve the people.
All right.
Like that.
So what is your message of hope to our viewers? O
Okay.
ano kaya ang panawagan mo para sa ating mga kababayan?
Kasi we all know that many people, especially not coming from these people, from Manila, from Cebu or wherever, natatakot sila pumunta dito because of, you know, what happened. Pero hey people, dapat I'm inviting you to please come and, you know, visit. Don't be afraid. And the people here are friendly.
Okay.
Peace-loving people.
Alright. So, yun po magtatapos yung ating interview kay Dr. Mo. Ang sabi niya po ay peace-loving po at tandaan po natin mga tagapagpanood, iisa lang po tayo. We are all one. We belong to one country. We are all Filipinos and we believe in the same God. So, we hope, we aspire for peace, for love, for unity. Ago, this place became the battleground between the extremist terrorists and the military. The extremists wanted to lay claim to this place so that they can make it a hub of their operations. Lives were lost, heroes were made, but then hundreds and thousands of people also lost their homes. This place, as of the moment, is uninhabitable, and we find where before there was busy commerce, there is nothing that you can see in this no man's land. Rehabilitation still awaits. Our brothers and sisters still waits for their homes to be rebuilt so that once more they can rebuild their lives. And so as the master plan of the rehabilitation program still awaits to be unfolded, let us all join hands together as we try to give our brothers and sisters the support that they need in this place we call home here in the Philippines.
If you have been blessed by this program, share hope and help us continue to bring hope everywhere. Send your donations to South Philippine Union Conference through any of the bank details shown here. Hope Channel, sharing love, changing lives.
Salamat sa pagatiman sa ako lang ha. Miss. Thank you. Ayaw, kabala ka na.
Agay, maraglapad man ang akong ulo. Inom sa kuha niya tableta para mawala ni. Maraga pa muhipoy man ang akong mga bukton. Ay, may nalang niapod ko yung tableta para ni. Ayay, marag wala gani may angay akong tiyan sa akong pamahaw ba? Naman po siguro ko'y tambal para sa hapto sa tiyan diri.
Hops! Kadali lang higala. Nahibalo ka ba nga pwede kang madaot sa dili sakto nga pagtumar og mga medisina? Tungod kay sintetika ni, kikinahanglan gayud ang medical advice sa pagtumar ni ini. Busa, sulahi usa ang natural remedies. Ang Natural Remedies Encyclopedia adunay kapin sa 11,000 ka home remedies para sa sobra sa 700 ka mga balatian. Palit na sa Natural Remedies Encyclopedia. Sa Natural Remedies Encyclopedia, siguradong mas safe and healthy ka.
Go!
Lula ta doon ang bagulangan may isa ka player na.
Hindi ba? Relax lang. Apil ba? Hindi na ka magtugay ba? Isa lang good ka oras.
Kamula pa man kung basa ani nga libro gaw. Papag ikaw study ayon na.
Kira na katunga na bitaw ka.
Mogid, bisa magadag isa ka page di wala pa may kapangabli.
Pero gaw, kabalo ba mas itong maista ani nga subject? Sige ba siya gatag og quizzes? Ingon pa gay siya nga mag-andam ta permi?
Sis.
Pero ba, di ba nakapaminaw ka sa leksyon ni ma'am? Diyos, ikaw ba?
Bito.
Bet kay ka.
Ito kayo.
Madumduman mo na tanan.
Sige. Sara ko oras ha?
Okay, class, get your workbook. We're gonna have a quiz.
Di na kinimayo bay ka nang... Bisa ko mapya sa inyo ha, magtuon sa ako.
Unsa? Ano man? Dula sa taba ka isa lang.
Ato na tagad ta. Nag-text si Francis. Pwede daw siya makapil. Ta. Sige, amping mo gaw.
Open it to page 365.
I am suggesting that since we are going to revise the Constitution, hindi naman po pwede na magpasa ka lang ng batas.
Hindi biro ang mga hamong hinaharap ng isang taos-pusong public servant. Kaya kinakailangang maging matatag at malusog ang puso, isipan at lalo na ang katawan. Makakamtan ang lahat ng ito sa pamamagitan ng iyong healthy choices. Alamin ang kahalagahan ng ating mga pagpipili araw-araw. Get your copy now!